Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy, and thank you for tuning in to our live tarot session. This is going to be a good one. Today, June 23rd. So happy, so happy you all are here. If you could all just take 2 seconds and give me a like and a subscribe, it makes all the difference. The likes really do make a boost in that algorithm, and it does help the channel. So send me a blessing. It's good karma. And if you are interested, you can look in the description and you will see my email. If you would like a private reading, send me a message, snappydts@gmail.com. I'm always available. You can also reach me at the Myth and Lore Discord, Snappy or Lady Snappy. Just send me a message. Always happy to chat. So it's beautiful to see everyone. I'm just going to give a quick shout out here to the chat. So first off, we got this beautiful message from Kelly. How cool. I got a red shirt on today and I never hardly wear one. I also took hold of that Capricorn and Cancer full moon energies to be practical and logical and follow through finally. Got inspired. Well, isn't that beautiful, beautiful energy? And you know what I see here is it totally connects to what I was saying about this Red Queen, right? The Red Queen is that fiery feminine energy that projects her passions into the world and does what she desires, who really embodies that kind of powerful, sultry, beautiful, transformative energy. You know, I think of a lot of great female musicians, people like, Erykah Badu or like a Beyonce or Taylor Swift, just really impressive women who inspire and are doing what they love and are themselves. That's that energy. And what I see here, what you're telling me is that you took that fiery, passionate energy and you wrestled that energy of the Capricorn and of the Cancer and our sun and our full moon. And we're really able to get inspired, right? That's that flame. You lit those torches, you got inspired. You're now embodying that Red Queen, that Queen of Wands. And you take that energy forward, you go into your world and you do what you love and you inspire others to do the same. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So we have a question. Who is the Red Queen? The Red Queen is the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, right? To me, I always equate this with kind of that red goddess energy on the earth, right? So to me, it's the same kind of energy as that strength card, but in a personal form. It really reminds me of, like, if I'm going to put it to a mythological character, it would be Medea, Let's see here. What do we have? Oh, Beatnik Bulba is going to miss this epic. All right. Well, shout out to Beatnik Bulba watching this on replay. Good to see you, Nikos Mess, as always. Shout out to Kari. Good to see you, Gandhi. Much love. Shout out to Cass. Always good to see you, Casker. Shout out to Mother Rhea. Love Rhea. And, of course, shout out to Graham. All right. So let's talk a little bit about our astrology today. So we're in kind of that same energy. We're coming out of that full moon, but we still have all this full moon in Cancer. We have all of this sun, full moon in Capricorn, and we have all this sun in Cancer, But it's interesting because these are kind of these polar energies, polar opposite energies. We're being pulled in very different directions right now. We have a sun that is very emotional and very giving and very, very mutable and wants to connect and be in that very emotive kind of way. And then we have the moon, which is very practical and centered and, driven by things that are beyond emotion, where emotion is sort of, less of a factor. Right. So this is a really interesting dynamic, and it's a really powerful dynamic because you can truly explore yourself in a very deep way. These are kind of also reversed energies, right? The moon is usually representative of that Cancer. And then it's a powerful, powerful combo. And really get into this energy. It's still here. And this is kind of like the last day for us to really connect with it. And on top of that, we still have all of this Cancer in our Venus and our Mercury. So this is a time when we can really emotionally connect to our loved ones and to our friends, right? We have that Taurus energy in Mars. So we're still moving forward. We're still building and constructing in a very organized and methodical way, like a good Tauran, right? So it's this profound energy. We got that Jupiter in Gemini still, so we're still in this very bright, intellectual, communicative way, you know. So profound energies all around. Let's move on from the astrology. Now I'd like to do some sortes. I wanted to bring in a new book today. It's kind of a monstrosity. So let's see here. This is a wild book, highly controversial. This is the Voodoo Gnostic Workbook of Michael Bertio. So Michael Bertio is an American occultist, probably one of the more like influential modern occultists, just in terms of all of the people that he's initiated and inspired in the various currents that have broken off from his stuff. But this is some of the most intense and unpenetrable kind of occulted text that you're going to find. It's a lot of there's so much going on here. When he says voodoo, it's not traditional voodoo as you would understand it. This is voodoo that comes out of these, at least his claims, comes out of these secret societies in Haiti and through additional work in Chicago with his own secret societies. And this is kind of his entire magical work put together into a formula. Wild stuff. Worth checking out if you're ever looking for something interesting and if you like magic. You know, it's interesting. So let's ask the muse. We're going to do the sortes. This is a form of bibliomancy. Bibliomancy is divination through literature. So we're going to ask the muses, the goddesses of inspiration, to guide our hand and to take us through the text and to inspire us with a line. We're going to read the line out of context, and whatever line it is, it's going to resonate and send us forward. All right, so muses, what is the message? What can we take from Michael Bertio's Voodoo Gnostic Workbook? How do we best move and flow? What's the inspiration? This is the first of the mystical worlds, of which there are manifold, as many as must be exposed through the spiritual initiations of the divine light, or the flesh fire of the sacred meeting. Wow. This is the first of the mystical worlds, of which there are manifold. So just think about that. This idea that our reality is a reflection of an infinity, right? They are manifold, right? The first of many. As many as must be exposed through the spiritual initiations of the divine light or the flesh fire of the sacred meeting. So he's talking about the various poles, right? Flesh or spirit, as Hermann Hesse would discuss, and going between these two. And there are as many worlds as there are paths along these extremes. So infinite, 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 right? Everything is infinitely unfolding and infinite expression. The universe is ever generative, right? Ever producing, continuous, unending. And this is something that's so profound and essential. Later today, Graham and I are going to be diving into this incredible text called The Hymn to the Mother of Gods by Emperor Julian, the philosopher and apostate. One of the most brilliant of the classical philosophers, and the emperor with the most writings we have. And he talks about this infinite creation, you know, the continuous continuum, that ever-going unfolding. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's continue. Thanks, Michael. All right. Speaking of Graham, we're going to go to Graham's text. I've been loving this text, you know, Shape of My Will. You can get this on Graham's publication house, Things in My Chest. All right. So muses, guide my hand. What is the message? What is the inspiration? What does Graham have to teach us today? The crashing of surf on rocks fills my ears as I envision you here in my arms, watching the sun sink into the waves. Wow. The crashing of the surf on rocks fills my ears as I envision you here in my arms, watching the sun sink into the waves. This is such a profound, magical image. What a beautiful image when I think about this, because there's so many layers of potential here when you really start to think about what this is, right? This is, in one instance, a dream, right? It's an imagining of a love coming together, of an eros of distance, of that profound beauty which remains out of reach. But at the same time, it's a recognition of this beauty in the natural world through that crashing of the surf upon the rocks, So there's a deep connection to this physicality, to the nature, right? And then you see that embrace reflected, watching the sun sink into the waves, right? Isn't that beautiful? The sun sinking into the waves is an embrace, and it is a collapse. And you can see all this love reflected, and your imagination can take you to these places. And if you really want to embrace that love, all you have to do is envision it. Wow. So part of the message here, I believe, is if you want that love to come in your life, you have to manifest it first in your imagination. You have to see it reflected in the natural world. Bring it to you. Beautiful words. Thank you, Graham. Wow. Love it. Okay. We're now going to go to Homer. The Iliad and the Odyssey, two of the greatest epics of the Greek tradition. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message? How do we move and flow? What do we take from Homer today? This is a message for Mandy specifically. Oh my gosh. In far off parts, his dog doth know. In far off parts, his dog doth know. Wow. I think the message here, though, is this idea of looking to the sense and relying on the companionship of animals, right? To that which is familiar. The dog doth know in far off parts. Wow. There's genius in the natural world, and the dogs know, right? There's a beauty in this animal world. When I think about the dogs in the Greek tradition, right? Dogs are the cynics, the philosophers who challenge. Dogs are related to Hecate, right? They're related to Asclepius. They heal, but they also guard the crossroads, right? Hecate is Cerberus, the three-headed dog who marks the path, who you have to pass if you wish to go and come back. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let us continue. We're going to go to the Book of Thoth, Aleister Crowley. If you like tarot, this is the book I recommend. It's difficult, but it's worth the struggle. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message? How do we best move and flow? What is the inspiration from Crowley today? One is conscious of the whirring of the wheel, thrilling one like an electric discharge passing through one. Wow. One is conscious of the whirring of the wheel, thrilling one like an electric discharge passing through one. This is the imagery of the chakra, right? This is not just any wheel. These are the wheels and the cycles, the cyclical substance that we're going to learn about from Emperor Julian. This is the power of transformation, right? These are the power centers of the body. One is conscious of the whirring of the wheel twirling, one like an electric discharge passing through one. You have to be aware of the energies and feel this with your consciousness. Wow. Powerful imagery, powerful thing to think on. Pay attention to the flows and the power around you. See those cyclical energies unfolding. All right. We're going to go to the Psychic Bible of Genesis Peorage and the Temple of Psychic Youth. Beautiful book. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the inspiration? How do we best move and flow? What do we take from Genesis and the Temple of Psychic Youth today? Well, this is kind of funny. No emotion spared, no end in sight. There are no demons or gods, no mysteries. In a sense, this is very, very true. Very, very true. It is that harsh reality of reason, right? And recognizing that all of these things are a manifestation of the self, right? Of reality, which is just an unfolding of the self. No end in sight, right? That continuous unfolding of creation. On one hand, you could say that, the mother goddess is this divine entity, this first intellectual creatrix, right? But in a very Platonic sense, you can say that she's not the goddess. She's just that intellect itself, right? And you can have the very Neoplatonist kind of almost atheistic view of things. But I think it's important that we see these, as always, two sides of the same coin, right? No emotion spared, no end in sight. There are no demons or gods, no mysteries. Spare the emotions. See the end in sight. There are demons and gods, and there are mysteries to be had too. Everything is always a spectrum in my life, in the reality that I experience. Interesting. Something to ponder on for sure, and see how this comes into yourself and in your life. It makes me think again of the mystery of the hymn of the Mother of the Gods in Julian, because it was written as a reaction to cynics, to a specific cynic named Heraclius, who, being a true cynic, trashed the gods and trashed theurgy. And Julian is a deeply, deeply pious man. It's kind of funny. You'd think that he would be battling with the Christians. This is the narrative that has been cast to us often, but that's not the case. He's battling with the cynics. It's funny. At one point, Emperor Julian creates this whole narrative about the cynic philosopher Diogenes, and upholds Diogenes as sort of this really powerful image of the ideal pagan man. And then Heraclius and the cynics show up and are like, "This is absolute garbage. Diogenes is trash. Diogenes is the worst. Why would you ever follow Diogenes? Are you crazy?" And of course, this is part of their whole shtick, their paria, or however you pronounce it. But it's this, they're being gadflies and being antagonistic. But it rubbed Julian the wrong way. It rubbed Julian so much the wrong way that we're going to have a text later that we get to talk about. But sorry for that little diatribe. It's just interesting, and how this dog imagery keeps coming back, right? Cynics, dogs. All right. Now we're going to go to The Parvati Darpana by Dr. Harsha V. Dehasia. I love this book. I cannot recommend it highly enough. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the inspiration? How do we best move and flow? What do we take from Dr. Dehasia today? Okay. Having known the taste of love, she gradually abandoned her perverseness towards enjoyment. Having known the taste of love, she gradually abandoned her perverseness towards enjoyment. Wow. So this is a really profound image. It's that idea of the tasting that you get within this aesthetic tradition, the rasa tradition of India, specifically within this Kashmir Shaivism. And the idea here is, again, this going back and tasting and experiencing pleasures, experiencing beauty, experiencing something that is truly profound. You are transformed by it. and you become closer to it, and you can see it for what it is, and you can appreciate it, and there's this deep knowing that comes. And this is describing the knowing of making love to a partner, right? And at first it could be perceived in the mind as perverse, especially for those who are raised in very, sex not positive environments. And this is a reality that we need to overcome. We need to see the beauty in things. We need to be able to experience this love, but that love has to be reconciled through a partner who also is giving love in the same way. That's why this path is also a difficult one. It requires two, or more. You can do it in the self as well, but it is equally difficult. But all paths are difficult, right? And love is worth striving after. Having known the taste of love, she gradually abandoned her perverseness towards enjoyment, embracing that which brings you joy, seeing the joy for what it is, being in that moment of profound pleasure, experiencing the bliss in its totality, allowing that to transcend time and space. It's not an easy thing. It's difficult, right? Wow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we're going to do one final sortaste, and then we're going to move on. Cosmogonic Eros, Ludwig Klages. Philosophy of the Primitive. All right, let's do this. Klages, what is the message? How do we move and flow? Muses, guide my hands. Inspire us. But when sacrificial piety soaks in blood the localized emblem with bewitching essences, then it was revealed to the descending soul, which momentarily transformed the image, redeeming it in the appearance of the God. Wow. But when sacrificial piety soaks in blood the localized emblem with bewitching essences, then it was revealed to the descending soul, which momentarily transformed the image, redeeming it in the appearance of the God. This is a really profound moment. This is that moment of recognition when the flesh and the soul, basically, in order for this kind of magical break to happen, there has to be a profound moment of stop, right? There has to be this, the descending soul has to stop descending, right? It has to return back to that primordial image. It has to return back to the mother, right? Redeeming itself, redeeming its appearance, transforming through this art of imitation and return, right? You have to cut off the descent and that procreation, that power. There has to be an abandoning, in this kind of very Platonic sense, right? And this rejection of matter and a return to the soul. That's what this is about. And it is done through this love of beauty, right? It's like, it is it's a rejection of matter in one sense, but then it is an affirmation of it in the other, right? It's like you abandon the descent and the nymphs, right? You abandon that, but then you turn to that profound image of the mother herself, right? Wow. And that's where you find God. Wow. We're getting deeply esoteric there. Okay. Should have known with Klages. I should have known. Okay. This is going to be fun. I wanted to pull out a new to the stream deck. I haven't used this in a long time. I was going through things and then I found this. This is actually a deck that was given to me that is just kind of one of these inspiration decks, but it is a Ganesha inspiration deck. And I've always been deeply connected to this energy. And I love Ganapati. I spent time in Pune, in India, in Maharashtra, and Ganapati was the lord of the city there, and it was very, very profound for me. But let us ask the muses, guide my hand. What is the message from these Ganapati oracle cards? Generosity. Generosity. Wow. You know, this is really interesting because with Ganesha Ganapati, right? They are the one who has all of the material wealth. You know, they are that divine child. They have all of this power to give. You know, they have all of this to share. They're the Lord of the Ganas, the spirits. They help you. You have to propitiate him first because he helps your prayers be heard. You know, so Ganesh is such a generous figure. To embody that generosity of Ganesh is to give freely to everyone and to listen to everyone. Because he listens to everyone's prayers, to anyone who calls, and he ensures that everyone's prayers reach their destination. Very powerful energy. All right. We're now going to go to the fairy deck. Okay. Oh, the fairies are jumping out at me today. This deck always likes to stick. It's like kind of staticky. But we got 3. We're going to read them. We're going to read them just for fun. Okay. So first up, we have protection. Sorry, these cards are rather glossy, so yeah, they don't like my camera. All right. Protection. The fairies of protection are shielding you with a magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon any spiritual work. You got to grind yourself. You got to be sure of yourself, and you have to be protected and cleanse yourself. This is just about mental focus, mental clarity, and mental image, right? But it is a super profound protection. Also connecting to those spirits, you know, the fairies, if you wish and you feel connected, or the ancestors. The ancestors are always present. You know, and there's a deep, profound connection always to those who are closest to us. Wow. Yeah. Protect yourselves, cleanse yourselves, connect. The next one. Why are we protecting ourselves? Magical gateway. Wow. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown, yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. Diving into that unknown. But there's one final card here. It's not just any unknown. It's that unknown of the solitude. What this is that hermitage, right? Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during the quiet times. So this is about being in that sense of self, protecting yourself, going into the deep, dark parts of yourself and doing that profound, reflective work, looking for the other inside of you, right? Finding the gates inside of you. You know, we are a reflection of the universe, you know, as above is the same as that which is below. You know, these are fundamentally the same. And there has to be this mirroring, this recognition. Right. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now we're going to go to our tarot cards, to our main reading. So we're going to use our Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley deck, the Thoth Tarot. And we are going to use the Saturn Square. We're going to dissect our lives, put it on the plate, look at the interconnections and see how the energies flow. How do we best move and flow? How do we connect to that muse? How do we manifest our true will? All right. Wow. I love to see this energy. And it's perfect energy to have in your center. The universe. Another cycle ending and another cycle beginning. Profound change, profound upgrade, profound growth. And this is all that we've been talking about, this process of divine imitation, embodying and becoming the mother. That's what this is. This is the fool's journey. This is the end. But there's also a deep recognition here that the Fool and the Mother are one. And that's an egg that she's in that's ready to crack. And what bursts forth from the egg but the Fool itself reborn? Wow. Profound transformation, new cycles, new beginnings. Let's see where this is going. We still are seeing our old pal interference. So this is that energy, the Seven of Swords, right? This is that. Swords is always about your mental state, your mental things. And this is overthinking, interfering, not allowing yourself to fully transform and embrace everything. So what I'm seeing is there's this incredible transformation, this upgrade, this change that's coming, and there's still doubt. There's still holding of back. There's still mental uncertainty and not a full clarity here. Where's that coming from? Let's continue. Yeah. It's related to loss of love or disappointment in love, giving of love and then having your cups run dry, right? So that's that energy of being taken advantage of and being disappointed of it. So what I'm seeing here is that even though there's an end in the transformation and an upgrade, there was this loss, right? As with every transformation, there is, there are hard points, but this was something that was painful. It's causing a mental fixation. This ending of these relationships, this disappointment, it could be not just any specific people, but could it be the way that people are approaching you? Just this feeling of people taking advantage of your emotions. You're giving out love, and they're drinking from the cups, and they're not reciprocating. The cups are always about flow. They should be flowing into one another. All these cups are dry. Right? That means anyone who has love to give, it's immediately taken. And that is causing this mental interference. So even though this cycle is coming to an end, we're ending this cycle, we need to be aware of this and we need to push past it. So where is this going? Let's see. At our top, wow. Balance in all things, right? Adjustment, Libra energy. This is really about that. Taking everything into account, learning to move and to flow, right? So it's okay to be disappointed when things happen, but you can't allow that disappointment to interfere with your life. You got to flow with the energy and move it back into creative pursuits. You feel this emotion and then you transform it into something else. You use it to fuel something else. That's the energy of this adjustment card, being able to move in that divine flow, to balance, to take it well, right? And that is the issue here. Even though we're coming to this end, we need to really be in this state of balance. So let's see what's happening on the other side. Okay. Wow. Queen of Cups energy, deeply related to this disappointment. I relate deeply to this kind of energy. This is that loving mother energy, that one who wants to be the shoulder to cry on, who wants to support, who wants to be that emotional person who can say, I can listen, I can be here. What can I do to help you, right? That energy gets taken advantage of sometimes, right? When you give so much love, people then expect it. And expectations build, and expectations build, and expectations build. And then often if you give too much too readily, there's not this reciprocation. Or sometimes people are just unaware, they're going through a real hard time in their life and they need a lot of love. And they're not recognizing that your cups are dry, and they keep coming back. And it's disappointing and it's hard, right? You want to be this lover. You want to be this comforter, this mother. But how can you be so if it's not reciprocated? If there isn't flow, right? Even if you are this energy, you only have so much to give. And it's, again, about this balance. She needs to come into balance. You're giving too much. You're not taking for yourself. How apt for the Capricorn moon, right? checking this Cancer energy, lunar energy needs to be checked right now. Balance it out, you know? As much as we love this energy, she can get taken advantage of. All right, let's go. Big thing here is about taking a new direction, trying something different, and not taking things so seriously. You know, the Fool energy is about, sometimes too, what I'm seeing is someone comes and they take from your cup and they don't reciprocate. But you still have love to give, you know, but it stings, right? It's disappointing. You were expecting an exchange. This is telling you don't care. Doesn't matter. You just want to be in this mode of this free, loving joy, right? The Fool is that joyful energy who just laughs, doesn't take things too seriously, doesn't matter, you know? Part of this balancing out is also a not being so serious and learning to just be in joy and to try something different, right? Maybe you're showing up with the same energy all the time and getting the same results. You know, if you don't want people to keep drinking up all your love, maybe it's not so much don't give it, but give it in a different way. Maybe talk to them differently, show them a different side. Maybe be bold enough to say, hey, you got to pay back, you know. The Fool would be bold enough to say something like this, right? They do it in a funny way, of course, but they're not that Capricorn energy, but they are that energy of just being ridiculous and taking things in stride and moving forward in change. Okay. And of course, she shows up. I was wondering when she was going to show up. I felt her energy. She graced the title of our reading, and she graces our reading itself. That beautiful Queen of Wands, the Red Queen. And this is connected to that energy of the universe and balance, right? So if we're going to be this powerful queen, this inspirational energy, that feminine that goes out and pursues her dream and inspires others, we got to be in balance. See what's happening on her other sides. Let's go. Wow. Connected to her is this beautiful energy of the Knight of Discs. This is that profound, mature energy, that masculine energy of building, right? Of going out into the world and making transformative change, but doing so in a very practical, in a very mature sense. Connected to this Queen of Fire, this powerful energy that can be very collaborative, you know? You have two mature energies that are connected here. And the Knight, this is someone who's building business, family, home, you know, is in that pursuit to protect, to grow, to get what they're after. And it's in this regard, in that regard of the practical, the real, the physical, the foundational, you know? And to this queen, this fiery queen, she's not so foundational. She's high in the clouds, thinking about her passions and her inspirations. When these energies come together, though, you can ground her, and you can build something with this fire. Where it's going? Where's it going? Wow, Empress energy. Empress energy. This is a beautiful combination here. We're having so much profound feminine energy coming in, and it's about embracing this loving mother pursuit, you know. And this is about, you want to connect to that divine feminine, you want to connect to that energy, that transformative mother who can show the unfolding of nature, who can provide you with the ability to transform, the one you want to imitate, right? That empress, that queen, to embody her, it's about these two energies coming together, right? She has the passion and the inspiration and has the ability to inspire. He has the practicality and the ability to build, you know? This is a power couple if I've ever seen one. And it's going to bring about this Queen Empress energy, the profound ruler, that strong, powerful feminine on the earth who manifests her reality, who protects her children, who builds the city, who wields the power from behind the throne. It's the Empress in the classical decks who is the true energy, the true one who wields, right? In those classical stories, when we hear of the story of like Kronos being overthrown and being castrated by his son Zeus, how does this happen? It's because his empress, Rhea, saves Zeus, has the foresight to protect her children, and gets him the training that he needs in order to wield the lightning. And it was her in the previous cycle that did the same thing. And it will be her in the next cycle that does it again. Right? Because she is that balance. She's the axis. Interesting. And that's what this is about. It's about manifesting this profound, powerful feminine energy. And to do that, it's about a coming together of these two forces. All right. Wow, love to see it. So now I'm going to tilt the camera so you guys can see the full reading. Before I do that, I just want to say, could you please give me a like and a subscribe? The likes really do make a big difference. They impact the algorithm. It takes 2 seconds. It's a blessing and it's good karma. So please give me a little support. And also, if you are interested in a private reading, you can look at the description below and you'll see my email, snappydts@gmail.com. You can reach me there, or on the Myth and Lore Discord. I'm Snappy or Lady Snappy. You can send me a private message at any time. And yeah, thank you so much for listening to my diatribe. All right, we're now going to start our top down. Interesting. What I'm seeing here, this is kind of profound. This Queen of Cups energy, it's kind of balancing out more into this kind of energy. But there's an interference. It's like this Queen of Cups energy really wants to manifest and become this Knight of Discs, that practical builder, But there's this mental interference. There's this blocking that's preventing this connection here. These energies want to come together to work, but there's something that's refusing them to come together. It's interesting. So let's go this way with our middle. We have our universe at profound ending. We have our Queen of Wands, and we have our adjustment. This is about coming into balance, into flow, ending of that one cycle. And it's through connecting to this energy, this profound, passionate feminine that is really in that pursuit of those fiery desires and is sensual, and isn't touched with that inspirational energy. Wow. And then on this side, right, we have that disappointment energy that is still holding us back. And if we really want to manifest this kind of Empress Queen, there needs to be a transformation. There needs to be something done differently. There needs to be a more lighthearted approach. There needs to be a letting go fundamentally of this kind of disappointment. Now is the time to embrace this kind of Fool energy. It's also really powerful to have it connected to the universe, the beginning and the end in our reading. Wow. So let's continue. We're now going to do our diagonals. This tells it all. So remember, I was saying that Queen energy is trying to connect, trying to transform into this Knight of Discs here. But there's this interference. It's even more on display here. This Knight of Disc energy is going to manifest as a result of this ending of this cycle and the new cycle. And it's going to take this leap of faith. It's going to take this actual changing. You're going to have to do something drastic if you really want to be this outgoing building energy, that Knight. And if you can manifest that Knight energy, right? these two energies connect and you get that Empress. It's wow. And yeah, right, when we look on the other side, we see this energy is coming to its conclusion. This Queen energy has served its purpose. The Queen of Cups is coming to an ending, and we're gaining this Empress energy that's coming in. It's like an upgrade, the ending of one cycle and this new cycle's coming in. So now it's about these two energies coming together to manifest this Empress, right? And it is through this new cycle and through doing something different, embracing the silly, not taking things too seriously, not worrying about this disappointment. Let them go, right? Being in flow, being in balance, taking things as they come, right? Learning to move between poles, right? We need to get out of the interfering energy, right? We want this queen to be able to complete her cycle so that she can transform into this Knight of Discs, so that she can build and go out into the world and manifest in the way that she wants, so that they can connect with this inspiring muse figure, that's that deeply profound, passionate energy. Because when you take that fire and you take that practicality, now you have a match that's gonna build something real, that's gonna manifest that Empress. Wow. Love to see it. Love to see it. Beautiful reading, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I hope that resonated with you all. So just, take the leap of faith. Let go of those mental interferences. Stop worrying about the people who show up short. Be silly. Do something different. And become that practical knight. Search out your Queen of Wands. All right, everyone. Okay. We're going to do one final sorties to end the evening. And then I hope you all come and join Graham and I for our discussion of the hymn to the Mother of Gods. So here's our final sorties. Okay. That contemplation by which a thing, though real and existent, appeared as non-existent and unreal, previously owing to obscurity, and reappears as manifest reality by sheer clarity. Wow. That is intense. That contemplation by which a thing, though real and existent, appeared as non-existent and unreal previously, owing to obscurity, and reappears as manifest reality by sheer clarity. This is that idea of moving from the one back to the many, right? Into the one again. Seeing the reality for what it is, recognizing it as both an illusion and as manifest, and seeing the nature of this continuum, ever unfolding continuum. Beautiful. Wow. Love to see it. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. This was a beautiful, beautiful tarot reading, and I hope to see you all in 10 minutes when Graham and I talk about the hymn to the Mother of all Gods. So thank you again. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow for more tarot reading. Peace and love.